Hi everyone, what's up? How are you? Well, you must be surprised that today I am making this video after a long time, isn't it? Well, the reason why I was not making this video is because I was not getting proper response. I was not getting comments, and nobody was asking questions, right? I was not getting the response. So that's the reason I thought that I should take my own time. I should take my own sweet time, and I should be making the video whenever I get time. Yeah, so I should be busy in my work. That's it. And no other reason. I should not talk big. Whatever the truth is, I will reveal that. So this was the reason, and nothing else. Anyway, I will continue right from today onwards. But yes, I cannot guarantee that I will make the video every day. But yes, whenever I get time, I make the video. Cool. Great. So today I'm going to share an amazing thing in English, which is very important for those who are learning English. Also, for those who are in advanced level, they can also learn it, because just today I came across a situation wherein somebody used the wrong expression, somebody used a verb incorrectly. So there I decided just that I'll make a video and I'll share this knowledge with you all. Yeah. So what was that scenario? Just I asked a question, simple question, general question, that how that person was. Yeah. So I just wrote a how are you? Right. So the reply came that I'm good, you tell. So I'm good, you tell. Now the question is, I'm good, you tell. That's a wrong statement or the right one? Now just decide. Tell is the verb which has been used here. So my focus is on the verb tell. So here the verb tell has been used correctly or incorrectly. Figure it out. Just I'm giving a few seconds. Well, just to make a comment that whether it's right or wrong, you should have the awareness of the use of the verb tell and say, right? So today let's learn the correct use of the verb tell and say. So to understand completely, you require to watch the video completely. Yeah, great. First, let's understand tell. Tell is the verb which is used with an object. Yeah, an object. Do you know object? Direct object, indirect object. Like he gave me a book. He gave me a book, right? It's a statement. Now understand what is the object. So there are two objects here. He gave me a book. Me and a book. These are two objects. Understanding? I am not trying to teach you grammar, right? Just understand very high level. So I am very, carefully helping you to understand the difference between tell and say, and how the sentence which I noticed in the chat was wrong. I will tell you now, and you will understand by end of this video. Yeah. Direct object. Let's understand those two objects, those two types of objects. So one is the indirect and the other is direct. Direct object is the object which is it could be a person, it could be an animal, it could be a thing. So the direct object is the receiver of the action. Understand? The receiver. When I say receiver of the action, it means the action affects directly to that object, to that person, animal, or a thing. Got it? For example, let's say the same sentence which I used just now. He gave me a book. He gave me a book. Action word is gave me a book. So directly, the action gave is affecting the object, which is a book, directly. You getting my point? So and me is the another object, which is the indirect object. Me is the indirect object. So what is the indirect object? Indirect object is the recipient of the object, direct object. Direct object. And direct object is the receiver of the action. This is the basic difference. You understanding? I'll repeat. Direct object is the receiver of the action, but indirect object is the recipient of the direct object. So when I say direct object is the book, and who is the recipient of the book? Book is the direct object because that's the receiver of the action. The action is affecting book. Who gave me a book? What was given? What was given to me? A book. So give is the verb which is affecting directly to an object, which is what? A book. That's the reason a book is the direct object. And me is the receiver. Me is the recipient of this direct object that I said, a book. This is the basic difference. You understand? Me, a book. So me has been used for a person, and book is the non-living thing. So non-living thing here in this sentence is the direct object, and living thing, me, that has been used for a person, that's the indirect object. So the logic is, first just ask a question, who is the receiver of the action? The receiver of the action is the direct object, and the recipient of the direct object is the indirect object. That's the difference. Yeah. Now coming to that sentence. Yeah, I am fine. You tell. Now understand, as I said, tell is the verb which requires an object. Even if you are not understanding direct or indirect, if you are not able to join the dots for the difference between the direct object and the indirect object, that's absolutely fine. Just remember one thing. What? You just remember one thing, object. Whether it should be a direct object or an indirect object. Irrespective of any object, but you should put an object when you use the verb tell. Remember this. Remember just one line. Tell, whenever you use tell, just put an object. Without an object, tell is the wrong statement. Yeah, tell will spoil your sentence. If you use the word tell in your sentence without an object, then this word is going to spoil your sentence. Yeah. So tell is the object which requires an object. Tell is the verb which requires an object. Remember this. That's it. Same thing. So same thing here. So same thing goes to that sentence which I was talking about. I am fine, you tell. So what should it be? I am fine, you tell me. Yeah. We can't say I told. Do we say I told? Somebody asked you, did you tell me? Yeah, I told. No, it's wrong statement. What should I say? I told you. You told me. You told me a story. Right? Okay. Just for one important note. Whenever you use the word tell and you don't have the double objects, right? Two objects, and you have only one object. Me, you, they, them, words like that, right? Me, you, her, his, him, such words. Object, right? So such objects can be a direct object. If you don't have you have only one object in your sentence, like you told me, I tell you, he told them. So in such scenarios, these objects are the direct objects because you don't have the other object. Yeah, no living thing. You don't have the other direct object. You just only have the indirect object in your sentence. Then it becomes a direct object. Because why? Because the logic is the same. Direct object is the receiver of the action. So when you are saying, I told you, so the action word is told, and the action tell is affecting who? You. So you is the word, you is the word which is the recipient of the action word. Yeah, that's the, and the receiver of the action. The receiver of the action. So you is the receiver of the action. That's the reason it's a direct object here. So depending on the situation, it varies, right? Definition is, of course, something that you need to you need to understand, but mind it, situation is different, then you don't have to stick with the one definition. You should change the thought. You should understand the logic. What is the logic in the definition? You should not cram, you should not remember just the definition. If you just know the definition, then in every situation you are just putting that definition. No, it's not going to work. Yeah, you should understand the logic. So the logic is a receiver of the action. In your sentence, if there is one object and that is the receiver of the action, then it's direct object. Getting my point? So tell is the word which always requires an object, whether it's direct object or indirect object. That's the reason I'm saying, if you don't understand indirect, direct, indirect, if you're confused, leave it. Forget that. Just understand an object. Any object is supposed to be put in that sentence when you are using tell. Understood? And say. Now the question is say. Say is the word which does not require an object. Not always, but it doesn't necessarily require an object. If you give an object to this word, that's fine. It's up to you. But even if you don't give the word, if you don't give the object to this word, then it's fine. But if you give the word, if you give the object to this word, then that's fine. If you don't give, then that's also fine. It's not going to be wrong. Right? So my point is, say is the word which does not necessarily require an object, but tell is the word, tell is the verb which requires, which does require an object. Right? Tell is the verb which requires an object. Right? It's necessary, otherwise it will be a wrong sentence. But say is the verb which does not necessarily require an object. Getting my point? That's how it is used. So when we say I said, that's fine. Yeah, somebody asked that I was asking a question and you said this was that, this was not true, this was false, I was not prepared, I was not able to speak a word. Didn't you say these words? Now notice the sentence. What I'm saying, didn't you say these words? I'm putting an object. Didn't you say these words? These words are objects here. But even if I say, didn't you say? Fine. I said. Fine. But remember, if you are using an object with the word, action word say, then remember it should come with to a preposition. I said to you. I can't say I said you. He said me. He said me. No, it's an indirect sentence. He said to me. So whenever you put an object with the word say, it requires a preposition. An object comes with a preposition, but this does not happen when you use tell. Tell does not require any preposition. Tell directly accepts an object, and say requires a preposition along with the object. Right? If you are using an object. If you're not using an object, that's fine. I said. He said. Yeah? I said. You will say. In any tense, if you use, that's fine. Without object, saying or writing, the verb say is possible without an object. But if you write the verb tell, or if you speak the verb tell, then you should use an object. Yeah. So you understood? It's very important The correct use of tell and say. It's very important, because when you speak English, if you make such mistakes, then what's the point of learning? No? People easily say that, okay, grammar not important. Grammar is something which you keep aside. Yeah, I'm speaking, you are understanding, job is done. No, the job is not done. I am, whatever I feel, I say. Whatever you feel, you say. But if it's not in a correct way, then there is no point of learning. Yeah. Okay, that's all for today. And please understand, and if possible, please leave a comment, ask questions. I can make a video on any topic, right? I am a very busy person, frankly speaking, but if you ask a question, if you have any doubt, then your doubt is on the top priority. Yeah. The moment I will see a comment, then it gives me a kick, right? Then, okay, this is the comment, this is the ask, this is the challenge. First, I will have to finish it. First, I have to end it. Then I will take care of any other work. Then I will just go to do anything else, right? But first, your comment, your ask, your question is my priority. So understand it and support me. Yeah, because it's important for me to communicate, right? It's not possible to communicate directly to you when I'm making the video, but for that I sometimes come live also, right? So I'll inform you whenever I feel to come on live, so you come and chat directly. But while making a video, it's not possible to directly communicate. So there is one way: you just leave comments, you ask questions, then I can answer those questions. Yeah, thank you very much. Thanks for your time.